Hey everybody, Karyn Bryant for MMA H.E.A.T talking with Marvin Vettori, who is now in the main event against Jack Hermansson. Hey, listen, I gotta wonder, how was your Thanksgiving, Marvin? Because you basically got the news right around Thanksgiving Day, huh?
It was bad, but I'm glad it was like just nothing really happened because like I didn't have to crave any food or anything, so there was not much going on, to be honest. To me, it was just a normal day. I just woke up, didn't do much, and trained, and that was it really.
Nice, nice. Well, so what did you make of this opportunity, right? Because it's kind of a funky timeline for obviously he was supposed to fight Darren Till and then he was going to fight Kevin Holland. Now Kevin Holland is fighting Jacare, who you were supposed to fight, right?
Yeah, yeah, crazy, but it all turned out for the better for me, I think, and I'm happy this came together, and they gave me the call, and I was ready. I am ready.
Right. How did
And
I mean?
I was more than happy to accept.
Well, yeah. So what did they say to their like? How did they even approach you with it? Like, I know you're fighting in 2 weeks, but now you want to fight a week sooner, or?
Yeah, like a lot of times people think that's so much craziness behind, but no, actually they just gave me a call. My manager gave me a call, and he's like, "Listen, there's a great opportunity. Kevin Holland is out. Do you want to jump in and fight Jack Hermansson?" And I'm like, I thought like I had a quick thought about the weight, and right after I was like, yeah, man, let's fucking do it. And that was it really. And to be honest, I was happy because like I was so worried about catching these things. I see a lot of people catching it all around, and they cutting off a whole week was good. I'm like,
Right.
man, I'm right here. Like I'm gonna go to Vegas. I'm gonna get quarantined over. Good. I'm ready. I was planning anyway to cut off like to not spar anymore.
Right.
And I had my last sparring. I was not planning to spar for the rest of the camp for the next 2 weeks. So I'm ready. Like I'm not overtrained. I'm perfect.
Well,
And so yeah, I'm glad it came together like that.
Well, yeah, it is. It actually is kind of perfect. And since you were fighting a week later anyway, or whatever, yeah, you're
Yeah.
already peaking, and it shouldn't affect too much your performance in terms of peaking and all that. But it is funny because with all this COVID stuff, for example, Kevin Holland has fought 4 times this year. Like, it really is kind of as much as it's a nightmare dealing with the COVID stuff, it gives you guys some great opportunities.
Yeah.
And now it's your first main event, and even just today, with us trying to coordinate this, you're like, all of a sudden, new media stuff is sprung on you, and all of a sudden, I got to go get a main event massage and all this stuff, Marvin.
No.
Whatever. But how different is it for you being a main event guy now? Because it's a big deal.
Yeah, it is. It's especially like for Italian MMA. I say like it's I'm the first guy to main event a UFC show from Italy, and
Yeah.
it's big. It's big. It's massive for for every Italian and for MMA for Italian MMA in general.
Right.
For Italy in general, it's
It
great.
it's a huge deal, and that's the thing, right? So there's a few people from Italy in the UFC and just in other organizations as well. But do you feel that like now? Do you feel that you're kind of carrying, the mantle for Italian MMA?
Yeah, but I felt that way for a while, but now they're coming together more. Like but yeah, I felt that way. I knew I had to be the guy to put Italy on the map.
Yeah.
I knew that.
Well, listen, I've been to Italy only once, but I went to Venice, Florence, and Tuscany, and I'll happily go back anytime. So listen, Marvin, if you win and you get a UFC Italy going, you need to let him know that KB's your girl.
Okay, yeah, for sure. And that's the next step. That's the next step. I mean, I'm sure now they have other thoughts on their mind with this COVID. They're just trying to
Right.
be up and running as much as they can, and obviously Italy's not
I know.
their main thing, but like that's my next thing. I wanna make it happen in Italy, and it could. I know for a fact that it could, and
It
that's
would
my
well,
big
it would
goal.
be incredible. And honestly, on a bit of a side note, though, like, is your family okay over there? Did you lose
Yeah,
people? Because as you had just intimated, like Italy was hit really bad.
yeah. No, my family's fine. It just now they're putting curfews again, and
Yeah.
it's getting starting to suck again really bad. But like they're fine. They're fine.
Yeah. Well, listen, not for nothing. My daughter took her first steps in Italy because we went
Yeah.
over there for my friend. I don't want to name drop Marvin, but my friend Michelle is on the show Picard, and her husband Garrett is on Fear the Walking Dead. And anyway, they got married over in Tuscany, and we went over there for their wedding.
Really?
But my daughter, 10 months old, took her first steps in Italy at the
Awesome.
airport before we left. So we love Italy.
Nice, awesome, yeah. And like where I'm from is not too far from Venice. Like it's not too close, but it's like I'm on that side. Like I'm even more a little more north, but
Right.
yeah, I'm there, man.
It's
Beautiful.
nice. Well, it's beautiful. Listen, you're facing Jack Hermansson, who's basically not necessarily the face of MMA for Sweden, because obviously we know we've got a few other people from there. He trains in Sweden. He's from basically that area, but it's a big opportunity for you. Jack Hermansson was on a real tear. He was beating people. He was all the way up, obviously, with Jared Cannonier when we had that fight in Copenhagen. It was a bit of a setback for him. But Jack came out and did really well against Kelvin, who is your training partner over at Kings. So I was at that fight over on Fight Island. You know how I feel about Kelvin. I love Kelvin. So I was like, oh no, that was fast. What did Kelvin tell you about being in the octagon with Jack, and what did you learn from watching your teammate fight him?
You know, like I feel like it just you know he just told me what we saw really. Like I feel like Kelvin would have done so much better 9 times out of 10. You know.
Yeah.
I think he could have won the fight 9 times out of 10, but he just you know Jack Hermansson created an opportunity and he chased it with all his heart with everything he had, and
Right.
he was able to get it. But I mean, if we compare overall as fighters, I think Kelvin is a better fighter. But you know, sometimes MMA goes like it's such a wide sport, and he got
Right.
caught fair and square. So it just happens, and you know, like I feel like Jack Hermansson has like he feels very confident in the floor, and yeah, man, I feel like he approached that fight with Kelvin very like aware of his punching power, and then in fact he wanted to clinch him at any cost. He got flipped over,
Right.
and then Kelvin paid the price of being a little bit overconfident, maybe, you know.
Yeah.
Confident, and sometimes one mistake costs you the fight.
Well,
But
Well, yeah, I mean, and you have to be careful when you go to the ground with Jack, right? Before, we worried about his ground and pound, and then all of a sudden he gets Kelvin with the heel hook.
yeah, but I'm a different breed, to be honest. I've been there for like with the best for years now. Like I've been training with the top level jiu-jitsu guys for years, on a daily basis. My main partners have been like world champion in jiu-jitsu on a daily basis for years now. Like just to mention names like Verdun, Benil Dariush, these guys are just. Yeah.
I was gonna say those two. You know, those are my guys. So you know, I was gonna say Benny and Verdun, of course.
Yeah, no. So I'm ready, man. It is, and you know, like one thing I know about Jack, he's very confident, and is a double-edged sword because he'll come out very confident, and I have to be aware of it. But at the same time, he'll find out very soon that I'm a different breed, you know.
Well, what do you make of the fact that I saw some things, and I'm not sure what the odds are right now, but initially you came out as the favorite.
Yeah. First, I mean, I think he's there to see, like, he's there to see. You see my fights, how they went, and what people can get on me, and how they play out, my improvement, and then I don't know. I think these guys, those guys definitely are not there to lose money. So they're there to make money. So I think that's why I'm the favorite, and they don't want to lose that money.
Well, right. And what's interesting about you, Marvin, is I know you've been talking a little more lately, and trying to get in these big fights, and so it's great that you have this opportunity. But I guess one thing people might say is, hey, Jack has had more stronger competition, right? I mean, obviously you fought with Israel Adesanya. I was at that fight. I worked that one. I remember talking to your coach Rafa about it after, and we were thinking that if you got a takedown in the third round of that fight, I remember, and we were saying that if you had gotten takedowns earlier in the fight, that probably would have changed things. But you were the first person to take the champ Israel Adesanya the distance, I believe, and you got stronger as that fight went on. So, but other than that, I will say I agree. I think Jack has maybe fought some bigger names than you, though. Would you agree with that?
Yes and no, because things can change very quickly. who did he fight? I know for a fact he fought one guy that I completely overclassed and he lost against.
Okay.
He folded like the Cesar Ferreira, where he
he
got smashed by that guy, and I the last fight, like my first fight since I came back, I dismantled that guy.
Yeah.
And then he fought Jared Cannonier, but Jared Cannonier had a crazy run. He's solid, but he's one of those guys. I don't know. I feel like in terms of competition, if you see even my early days when I considered my early days in the UFC as being almost a kid compared to now.
Yeah.
I faced some hard competition, so I don't know. Plus, being there with Israel too, and that turned out to be that way. But even though we can make speculation on what competition he has faced and what competition I faced,
right.
It won't matter, because at the end of the day, actually, what will matter if anything is the competition he faced in training every time. Who is he training with, man? I trained with top-notch, hard motherfucking guys every single day of my life, and so I feel good about this fight, man.
Well, you know how I feel about Kings. Everybody knows this. Everybody knows that would be my adopted team. I do have to ask you though, Marvin, because I love me some Rafa Cordeiro. The fact that Rafa's been training Mike Tyson, I'm curious for you guys all. Two questions. How much does Mike's influence kind of affect all of you guys at Kings? And then also, how much did your level of training ramp up since Rafa was also training Mike? I feel like it probably bled over to all of you at the gym.
Yeah, no, for sure. I think Rafael also upgraded even more with training with Mike Tyson, and he showed it in the training. So for sure, man, it's been crazy because one day you see it at the gym, and the second next day you see on viral videos,
right?
catching pads for Mike Tyson. So it's been good, man. It's awesome.
Insane, isn't it? Just insane. To step away for a minute, I think about that. I'm like, wait, my homie's training Mike Tyson right now? What? And like you said, you see the viral videos, and I'm like, but that's my boy holding the pads. And I'm like, holy crap. What is happening right now? And we were coming back from Fight Island, Marvin, and we were on the way back. Me and Verdum and Rafa, we all came back together. And then we came back Sunday night, and Monday we were leaving the hotel. And Rafa's like, yeah, I got to go train Mike in an hour. I'm like, dude, we just landed from Fight Island. What? It was crazy, but he was so dedicated, and I knew there's no way that wasn't affecting all of you in a really positive way.
For sure. Yeah. No, Mike Tyson looked great too, man.
He totally won. That was not a draw, Marvin. That was not a draw.
No, it wasn't. But it wasn't.
Hey, so listen. Like I said,
Mike Tyson.
Want to go ahead?
No, it was funny to see Mike Tyson. He was not happy after the fight, man.
No,
he was not happy.
No, he wasn't. We all know that was not a draw. So remind me though, weren't you in I don't want to say a Twitter war, but weren't you jawing at somebody else about a fight recently?
About what?
Weren't you and somebody else going back and forth on Twitter or social media about fighting each other?
Oh, I don't know. A lot of people.
I was just gonna say.
It could have been Chris Weidman.
It might have been Weidman.
Oh, okay.
It might have been, but what? That's my question is for you. Is if you beat Jack, because Jack's ranked what, number 5 or so? Do you have 4, and you have a ranking on you now, number
13.
13, right? So it's a huge opportunity for you, but you know that, and I know you want these huge fights, but you'll get a target on your back if you're victorious.
Yeah.
And I know obviously Israel is a rematch you would love.
If I don't get a target on my back after this win, that means people are really scared of me. People don't want to know nothing about me. If after I beat Jack, I still don't get call outs from other people, that means people don't really want to hear about my name in this division.
Well, and that's my question to you is I don't know if you have the answer for this, but why aren't we more familiar with your name? Because to me, once this matchup came, and to see you fight Jacare, I think is a great fight. But obviously, this is a great fight too. Like the fact that I was like, okay, yeah, Marvin's been asking for these bigger fights, and he's getting the bigger fights now. But at the same time, I still feel like you're flying under the radar a little bit, which is kind of weird, right?
Yeah, because well, I don't know. Yeah, one thing I know, I'm not even in the game yet, and but yeah, I mean, I've been asking for these fights, and I think it always comes down to like risk reward ratio, and I feel like before and even now, but then after this fight when I win, it will be different. Before it was way higher risk than reward, you know.
Right.
So now there'll be definitely high risk, but there'll be a high reward too. So hopefully, the risk will match the reward, and people are gonna show up. But then I'm gonna look forward. But I can assure you, like I'm a man of my word. Like if I don't get the fight that I really want, I'll be happy to fight somebody else. Like of course I'm not gonna maybe like but no, I want to stay active. Like because the way I approach this sport is I always train. I'm always ready. I'll take some time off after my fights, and even then I'll do something, but I'll clear my mind and I'm right back to it. So I'm training all year round really hard, so I want to stay active.
So what's the one you really want? The Izzy rematch?
Well, that's definitely the goal, and I would want that for sure.
Yeah.
But we'll see, man. I'm really focused on this for now. I'm not really thinking too ahead, and we'll see. One thing for sure, I'm gonna be in the mix, man. And when there's gonna be title contention discussion, my name has to be mentioned. That's for sure.
I love it. Well, listen, I think the last time I saw you, Marvin, was when we were doing UFC Now, which was a while ago, which sucks that it's been so long. But you cleaned up nice and everything. Like, I know I was joking about this at the beginning of the interview, but like, how much is different being the main event guy? Like, you better be pimping when you show up for that press conference. You need to look sharp. You looked suited and booted when we were working together. But like, are there parts of this that like you're even actually excited about? Because I mean, there's fight weeks. You've been through fight week a million times, but like, I am curious if it's different for you now being the main event.
For sure. I mean, it's for sure. It's awesome. Like I'm soaking it in for sure, and I know how to channel all this excitement and energy the right way to come out and help me, unless it like like stop me from doing what I want. But at the same time, until Saturday, this is still business for me. This is my life, and I know the job is not even close to be accomplished yet. So I'm staying centered and mentally and physically solid. And when the fight is over and I have my hands raised, then I mean we can let it all out.
Well, I'm excited. I'll be heading out to Vegas tomorrow. I'll be working this one, so I'm definitely excited to see you guys. It is a massive opportunity, but yeah, I know you're ready for it. Hell, if you were ready for Jacare, I feel like you're ready for anybody.
For sure.
Right?
Sure.
I mean, for sure. Like, come on. So yeah, really excited for you, and I know that yes, you are carrying a lot of this for Italy. Like, is your family? What happened when you called them and told them that you were the main event and everything?
It happened all so fast that but they were thrilled for sure.
Awesome. Okay, so I will ask this last question then. I would imagine you would throw down on authentic Italian food. So like, ideally, what's your either celebration meal or your like post weigh-in meal? If we're going full on Italian food, what would you have?
I'm really craving some super classic Italian recipe, and I can't wait to have it. It's like a carbonara pasta, so it's like that, and I'm really craving that. And I can't wait to have it after my fight.
Well, good for you. Listen, either way, win, lose, or draw, you're gonna deserve it. You guys always work so hard, and you blew off Thanksgiving and all of this. So I hope that you get. And it sucks that Vegas is closed down, right? Because where is it? Is it at the Cosmopolitan? There's a really nice Italian restaurant that we've eaten at.
There's a few.
Yeah, there's some good ones.
There's one. I always forget the name. There's one that I like.
Carbones. Carbones is the one I'm thinking of.
Which one?
Carbones. I think that one's in the Cosmopolitan. That's really good.
Nice. I haven't been. There's one at the Encore. It's called Allegro. It's like right by the casino.
Nice.
And it's not bad.
Nice.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, listen, Marvin, you probably have to go, I don't know, get some more main event stuff going on. Like, see, I don't know. Probably, I don't want to get you in trouble. I was going to
Probably
say
just
something
chill
ridiculous.
for a moment now, actually.
Awesome. Well, listen, I'm totally psyched for you. I think this is great, and really looking forward to not only just working this fight, but watching this fight. I think you and Jack are going to give us a lot of entertainment. So, so best of luck to you, and thanks for taking the time today.
Thank you very much, man. Thank you.
All right. I'll see you soon.
Bye-bye.